Did you know the food you throw away costs you more than $1,300 a year? And that food waste takes up more landfill than anything else? Maybe your leftovers sit forgotten in the fridge, seem unappealing the next day, or you don't want a rerun. I'm here to help. I'm Diane Watson, the leftover chef, and I'll show you how to quickly transform your leftovers into new and delicious dishes. Let's get cooking. Hi everybody, welcome to Leftover Chef. I'm Diane Watson. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to take one of our most beloved American dishes by way of Italy, lasagna, and turn it into deep-fried lasagna bites. Delicious. Now, lasagna is one of those fantastic foods that you can just reheat and eat. It's so delicious. You can put it in the microwave, you can put it in an air fryer, you can put it in the oven. It's so good, but sometimes those pans of lasagna are so big that you want to try to find something new and different to do with them so you don't have to end up throwing it away. Because as we talk about all the time, over 900 million tons of food is wasted every year. 40% of our food supply for consumers. And the average American eats 20 pounds of pasta a year, and that means that each American throws away 8 pounds. So let's figure out a way to make lasagna something new and different so we don't get tired of reheating it. Now what I have here is one piece of lasagna from my freezer. And I did take this lasagna and cut it into strips while it was still partially frozen. So let's take a quick look at the flashback camera and see that knife work. Okay, so here's what you'll need. One piece of lasagna from your freezer, about 3 tablespoons of flour, 2 eggs, some breadcrumbs. You can use Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. You can use plain breadcrumbs. I have panko here because that happened to be what I had in my pantry. And then a pan with some oil for deep frying. Now I happen to have a little Fry Daddy here, but if you don't have one of those, you can use a heavy bottomed pan with vegetable oil or peanut oil, and you want to heat that to about 350. And I really recommend getting a quick candy thermometer to test that temperature because it really makes a difference on how quickly they cook and how crispy they end up being, which is what you want. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna salt and pepper all of our breading ingredients. I think it's important, as you know, to season things along the way. And then the 2 eggs that I have here, we're just gonna quick whisk them. And this is a technique you can use for really any kind of breading you do, whether you pan fry or deep fried chicken or shrimp or just about anything that you like that way. This is a great combination. Flour, then egg, then breadcrumb. And you can go fancy and put Parmesan cheese or nuts in your breadcrumbs. It's just so fun to personalize it. So one thing I did after I cut these lasagna bites into strips is I put them back in the freezer so they would keep their shape. The one thing about lasagna is because it's so gooey and it's so cheesy and full of soft pasta, it can really lose its shape if you keep it in the refrigerator or even worse at room temperature. So you're just gonna wanna quickly get these done in flour. I like to tap the leftover off, put them again in egg, and then in the breadcrumbs. Now, lasagna's got their start in Italy, as we all probably could guess. The modern day version of lasagna came out of the town of Bologna, which is a town that my friend Kate, when I went to Tuscany, if you watched that episode, was really excited for me to go ahead and schedule on my next visit to Italy. But a lot of folks would argue that lasagna actually got its start in Greece because the word lasagna is derived from laganon, which is a Greek word for pasta. Okay, this part's simple enough. We're going to place them gently into the basket and lower them into the fryer. Or if you're using a heavy bottom pan with oil, you're probably going to want to use a metal slotted spoon that's rated for that kind of heat to gently lower them so you don't have splatter. Now this is a really exciting episode for me because I'm very, very thrilled to spend a little time talking to you about an organization that is very near and dear to my heart called Lasagna Love. Now, we talk a lot about food waste on this program, but I think it's also important to talk about food insecurity because we have touched on it, and there are so many folks that just don't have enough to eat and don't know where their next meal is coming from. Lasagna Love is this amazing organization that was started in 2020 by Rhiannon Men, and she is a visionary, and she saw the need for food food banks and food assistance during the pandemic, and she started this organization that basically allows anyone to request a lasagna for them or their family. No questions asked, no needs test necessary. It's just a way for the community to serve each other. Now, since 2020, this organization has provided over 350,000 lasagnas to people in their communities. That's serving 1.5 million people. The organization has 45,000 volunteer chefs. So here's the great thing, you can get involved. You can sign up to be a volunteer chef, which means you can provide a lasagna as frequently as you want to and you're comfortable with to someone in your community. If you need a lasagna, whether you're low on money or you have a lot of obligations like taking care of children or aging parents, you can request a lasagna. It is the most amazing organization I've ever been a part of. I joined a few years ago. I think I've delivered like 60 lasagnas over the last couple of years, and they've expanded into Australia and Canada for my international viewers. So I would encourage you to check out lasagnalove.org. I've got the web address right here. It is just an amazing way that the community comes together to share food as a love language and make sure the community is provided for. Lasagna Love. I'm just jealous I didn't think it up myself. So these are going to go for about 5 minutes until, now remember, everything in the lasagna is cooked. So you really just need to make sure they're golden brown, and you're going to want to put these on paper towels when they're the color that you want them to be. It's important too not to crowd your pan or put too many in the skillet or the heavy bottomed saute pan that you're using. You want to make sure they have room so the oil can circulate around. Wow, that one piece of lasagna made 12 big pieces of lasagna bites that I'm going to serve with a little marinara sauce. Let's give it a try. This is my favorite part of every episode. Deep fried lasagna bites with marinara dipping sauce. Be careful, they're hot. Crispy outside, the cheese got gooey again. The sauce inside is perfect. I think you'll love them. Thank you so much for joining me today on Leftover Chef, where we help save the planet and save your wallet by repurposing leftovers into something new and delicious. And I just want to give a big shout out and all my love to lasagnalove.org, an amazing organization that is helping communities feed each other, provide love, and make the world a better place. Thank you so much for being here. See you next time.